Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle Earth here with a quick video, and this is going to be abnormal for me at least. I'm going to do this all just in one take and post it because I've got a lot going on today, getting over a little cold. But I want to get some important equipment details to you guys that potentially some of you may have already hurt your accounts. I know people on our team who have really kind of messed things up, which I don't blame players. I kind of blame the devs for not making things more clear. So I want to talk about some mistakes to avoid, but also just some things you should know and some resources you might be able to use to better gear up your account and your character. So we're just going to jump right in. Again, we're trying one take here, so bear with me, and if I sound awful, apologies in advance. So first major thing I want to make sure people are aware of, which again might be obvious, but there's just a lot of new stuff, and it did happen. But on this page, sorry, this page right here, wherever you get, yeah, equipment recycling, we found it. Be very careful here because I did have a player accidentally, like, it sounds like there was a glitch out kind of issue, but they actually got rid of all of their gear, like on their entire account. And they've talked with support and not had any luck. It sounds like they're not able to do anything. So if there is a dev watching who can help out, there's a player on my team who literally accidentally got rid of all their equipment and is just screwed. Like they're not gonna, they're quitting the game because it's like, why after 2 years of playing a mistake like that should probably have some sort of like, are you sure this is what's happening? Whatever. It happened like that. So if there's a dev watching, reach out to me. You guys have my email. You guys know how to get a hold of me or get me on Discord, whatever. And I'd love to get that player some help. But be careful with equipment recycling. That is tip number one. Tip number two, in sort of no particular order, is with unique items. If you guys did not know, there are unique items in the game. They're called relics now, and you can get them and you can strengthen them up or forge them. The thing that I've seen people do that they've kind of been upset about is the reforging. And you can only reforge once you've fully strengthened a item here with 25 items. Cost 25 of any gold items to strengthen these, you go reforge. And as you can see here, I'm only getting back 9 plus 3 plus 1 is 13. So there is a loss of 12 items if you reforge. And you get worn out items back, not the actual items you put in by reforging. It also costs 3,000 gems. The reason for this, and I'm not saying I agree, but just to explain it, is that when you forge your equipment, you get random stat increases. So here you can see that I rolled HP once, I rolled Commander Focus once, I rolled Commander Defense twice, and I rolled Unit Defense once. Not the best one for Sistaro, to be honest. And so this is one at some point I'd like to reroll. It's just expensive, and right now I'm probably not going to mess with it. But that's why you'd reroll. So there's a loss because they don't want everyone just like creating perfect uniques. They want the RNG element. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it, just so you guys know. Whereas someone like my Shadow, I got 3 rolls for Commander Attack and 2 for Commander Focus, which I'm very happy with. So this one was very good, not so much Sistaro. So be careful with equipment reforging because you can definitely mess up your account if you're not paying attention and just think, oh, I can just break it down like normal, and all of a sudden you're missing those items. The next thing that just happened, and sort of like the actual reason I want to make this video, was because, and I'm gonna break down Sistaro stuff and see if there's any changes that I want to make here as an example. They changed the race restrictions on some different types of gear. So something like the fine smoking pipe, which of course I don't have any because I may have gotten rid of them. Something like the fine smoking pipe could not be used with Nazgul before. Now it can, so it actually I think becomes the best item for focus damage dealing commanders. So let's go ahead and break this guy down and see. Of course, again, there's none in there, but long story short, if you've already gone through and done all your gear, there's a very good chance that there are now new types of gears that your commander can use that they couldn't before. So while we still have the equipment event going, it would not be a bad idea to go through and reforge your gear. Again, doing it this way with the hammers is of no loss to the player at all, so it's just going to break it all back down, and you can see if you have better set options. For me, I didn't have set options on almost anybody, at least as far as gold gear goes, and now I may potentially, with there being some more or less race restrictions, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be going back through my gear, but again be very careful when you're messing with unique gear, because what I did is I forged my unique equipment like Sistaro's Staff of Mortal here. I've got it. I mean, I'd probably have to go back and look because I think I recorded it, but I have a very high likelihood that there are a lot of fine smoking pipes and things in here that originally Nazgul could not wear, but now they can. And while it would be best in slot, it doesn't really matter because I don't have access to it anymore. Again, I'm going to break everything apart and check and see, but my advice with everything is to be as patient as possible. There are time-limited things like your Respect refund vouchers. They have a timer, so don't let that timer run out, but be as patient as you can with that. And then this equipment event has, for me, 15, almost 16 days left. So there's no reason to lock into things before the timer is a little bit closer. And unless you're like a part of a group that's like really trying to pioneer things and help others learn, which is kind of what I'm trying to do, I would suggest be absolutely as patient as possible. Ask questions before you do things. Like, seriously, there's a lot of people out there who have done the reforging mistakes, who have scrapped items, who have whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there as kind of a PSA with the race restrictions, but then I was just thinking of all the actual issues people have had and want to try and prevent people from making more mistakes if possible. Very soon I'll be putting out more of a detailed video on equipment. So if you're curious what equipment to run, for example, something like the Obsidian Dagger is the best piece for Sistaro, and I want to explain why that is based on the stats it has, based on its primary and secondary stats, as well as ideal effects for it and those kind of things. But we're going to go through very soon in a video and talk about elemental damage dealing commanders, physical damage dealing commanders, troop buffing commanders, all that kind of stuff, and give you guys some options. So if you're a little bit lost, I got you covered very soon. So subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But that'll do it for this one. Again, one take. I'm cutting it. It was meant to be short. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.